I think that's P4, guys. P4 in the constructors. I know that's not really where we want.
It hasn't played anything. It's literally just playing the starting soon clip. Oh, I just played it.
There we go. Right, okay. Apologies, lads. We had a mega technical issue there. Team radios from the season finale started playing right at the end there, and I don't really know why that was the case. But it's sorted now, and you're live with me and Elliot Vega in the commentary box. Elliot, say hi.
Hello.
So,
Hello.
Elliot.
I would like to call to your attention as we do these intros that Orion Hawk and Jorge Caro are separated by one, what is that, 2 thousandths.
Yeah, Ryan Hawk and Jorge Caro separated by literally 2 thousandths of a second, which just goes to show the margins here at Daytona. We have got 13 lovely cars, and Elliot has kindly volunteered to hop in the pits and join me in the commentary box. So everyone give him a massive thank you. And yeah, it's just looking to be a great race here today. We've got, like I said, 13 drivers. We've got some new faces. We've got Martin Van Lant from the In-Forward Racing team, who's decided to do some pre-season warm-up, pull a bit of a Sonny Hayes. We've got Cohen Grants, who is a Vegas Sports Academy driver. We've got Gavin Toothman, who you probably know him from, and Devdo, obviously. You probably know them from WTCS, some touring leagues. They're here to race on Ginettas as well. And yeah, I'm excited to see what this race is like. No 107 rule, no, not insanely strict limits, as Jorge now clears Ryan by about 5/10 of a second. So in terms of factions, it's currently Pigtech on pole position, followed by Ryan Hawk. In second for Printicality with 2 and 3. Epic Party currently in third. Walter Dunk, meanwhile, coming out of the pits for the Pigtech. So Pigtech currently up there. Petar Printic in P5 for Printicality. Murad Goodman also for Printicality in P6. And then Martin Bauer also for Printicality in P7. And the rest of them, Jacob Formey also for Printicality in P8. And then Cohen Grant comes in Pigtech for P9. Gavin Toothman for P9. For P10 for Pigtech. Devdo currently in the pits for for Project Ordonez. So Project Ordonez currently in first, in 11th, 12th, and 13th. So probably the most hyped faction, currently not looking the greatest, but I'm glad that they are here. That is what matters the most. And I think they might have gone and teleported into the pits, and they might have been disqualified as a result, and that probably will fall on me, because all 3 of those drivers are actually good enough to not be that far off the pace. So something's definitely gone wrong in terms of server side. As Devdo has decided to say he would like to do a last to first challenge. We've got 4 minutes to go left in this session. And I'm really excited to see how this goes. Elliot, do you have any amazing insights you'd like to share?
Yeah, no, I just think, oh, you were spectating me while I was doing that. I just like to say I think it's very interesting what the Project Gordon-esque cars are doing here. You know, it might be a strategy thing, you know, last at first, yeah, it looks flashy in the news, but who knows, you know, everyone in front of them might just wreck with the nature of this track.
Yeah,
so I think that's just a great strategy play. I think Ellie Vega.
You might be right. You might be right. Yeah, a last first challenge could be amazing on the cards. But you've also got your academy driver out there, Cohen Grant, in the Pigtech. Any words on him?
Yeah, no, I honestly think Cohen Grant, you know, it's his debut for any kind of sim racing league that we've been associated with him for. But I think really this one's more just for fun. You know, he's obviously still a developing driver. He's just here to get some track time and fill in the numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Definitely an event that I'll definitely say 2 or 3 people are feeling very confident for, and then a couple of people who are just here for vibes. But that's the thing, this event is for vibes. I am seeing the chats. Isaac is currently lighting up the chat as per usual. I would genuinely love to organize a meet and greet with this guy, because this guy has been watching the streams on this channel for about 5 years. I don't know how he makes every single one, but he does. It's genuinely insane. You know, part of me wants to believe that it's just easy, but you never know. Yeah, 2 minutes left to go. Walter Dunk currently in P4, which is pretty impressive. Currently him and Jacob Formey.
You got some Elliot Vega fans in the chat.
Oh, it's just Elliot Vega cheering himself. Is this AC? This is, in fact, Assetto Corsa. That is why we call ourselves the Assetto Formula Open. And yes, Formula Open in the name, but we're racing Ginettas. In case you wanted to know why that was the case, this is the off-season event. Just to encourage people to come back and spike the numbers. Murat Goodman gets disqualified for teleporting. That is kind of on me. I told people they can teleport back into the pits, and yet it actually disqualifies them. So it's kind
Speaking of off-season, we're seeing some pretty interesting things here that may determine, or give a little preview of the order. Obviously, big new team entry in forward. You got Martin here. He's doing, compared to the rest of the grid, pretty all right for a debut. But we got Peter Prentic, big name in the league, being outplayed by Walter Dunk here. So that raises the question, what could the order look like in Season 4?
Absolutely, but Peter Prentic is someone who benefits from a lot of practice, and we did end up changing the track mod very early on, so it's definitely quite difficult to say sort of how his pace would have been had we kept to the original.
Adaptability is a big thing this week.
Exactly. As I sit here in the commentary box with you all, wearing the exact same jumper. So, do I shower? Probably not. I don't know why I've just said that. But yeah. So, finishing off with into the final 15 seconds. So the final few laps is Walter Dunk. I think that is one of the Project Ordinance cars. I think that's it was Josh Mandelbaum who managed to get himself up to 10th, out qualifying Gavin Toothman.
Qualifying Elliot Vega too.
Yes, absolutely. So qualifying is finishing up here, and Josh Mandelbaum just about loses traction on the exit of the corner there, allowing 40 Pigtech to slide through and take the position. We've got We're Sin Soz You Suck, number 1, saying that the Pentricality livery does look a bit like the Lightning McQueen livery, which, now that you mention it, does actually look like that. So a nice spot from Hughes. Jorge Caro will be taking pole position unless Ryan Hawk has anything to say about it. Evan Pardy, however, with the fastest sector 2. Can he have anything to say about this front row? And yes, we will be doing a... Oh, I've been told to increase my microphone. Hope that works. It's now right next to my mouth. But yeah, Evan Pardy, very vocal all the time. We'd love to hear it. Coming around now to the start-finish straight. Can he take pole position at America, or will it be going to the Spaniard who he shared the Blue Ridge Racing garage with? It's going to be 2 purple sectors, but it's not going to be enough for first and second. A lovely effort from Evan Pardy, though. Lovely effort indeed. Walter Dunk will be crossing the line now. Can he improve on his lap time? We're going to find out. Let's see how he does. As he comes round the banking, we see someone in 11th slowing down. It looks like Gavin Toothman. It looks like he's pulling into the pits there. Let's hope he's not causing any ruckus. As here comes Walter Dunk. Is it going to be an improvement on his lap time? We're about to find out and see. Bam! And no, it's not an improvement on the lap time, but it is still a very, very good performance by Walter Dunk for P4. So that was an interesting grid. We've got Jorge Caro in pole, followed by Ryan Hawk, Evan Pardy, Walter Dunk, Petar Prentic, Murat Goodman, Martin Vatland, Cohen Grant, Jacob Formey, and Joshua Mandelbaum form up the top 10, and then towards the further end of the field, Gavin Toothman, Devdo, and Elliot Vega. who have both said they're going to be doing in last to first challenge. So we'll see how that one goes. As Ryan Hawk is disconnected. I hope that is not. I hope that's not a.
If anyone could tell me how many leaders are running for the race, because I didn't get any quality lap times in, so.
Yeah.
Can you calculate the fuel?
If you guys would like to help fellow Project Ordnance car out,
yeah,
make sure
you could help Elliot Vega.
Drop him some information there. There will be a 60-second wait time where as soon as the race session starts, but I will be restarting that timer if we don't get Ryan Hawk joining in time. I'm going to quickly open up the Discord just to see if I can see anything on this. Nice intro, yeah. Okay, Antoine, I'm sorry. Sorry, mate. Let me just... Where is... Oh! Evan would like to share some interesting thoughts. Let's bring him up. Let's hear what he has to say.
I wanted to rant about how these track limits took away my pole position. I was 0.3 quicker than Jorge's lap just there, but these damn track limits, man, they make me sad.
So unfortunately, Evan has been silenced by the government on what could have been a pole lap time for him. But what that does tell us is that I did not move you down, mate. But what that does let us know is that Evan does have the pace to be fighting for the win today.
So, anybody got any fuel levels, or?
Is anyone gonna let the two Ordnance lads know how much fuel is needed? Well, Martin Van Land is the first guy, the first hero of his time, to let them know that
Thank you.
It is going to be 29 liters.
29 liters.
So he did invalidate, unfortunately, and that's why Evan lost that lap time, because it did seem very clear that he had the pace. Evan Party, a prime driver in his own right, won the Constructors in the AFO Season 3, but then decided to pull out Blue Ridge to focus on his own personal endeavors. But yes, I'll be interested to see how this one goes. We've got 30 minutes to go. Ryan Hawk currently on 500 ping. I hope that is not a permanent issue. And yes, we might have to have a what's it called? Might have to have a full course immediately off the start, but hopefully not. Hopefully everyone behaves. Hopefully everyone keeps it clean for the 30 minutes.
But honestly,
of Daytona.
from a commentator's POV, and not just someone who's trying to go last or first here, a little bit of chaos wouldn't be too boring. It would be.
I mean, it definitely wouldn't be off-brand. Now, if people do not have fuel, just remember 29 liters is what the recommended number is from Martin Van Land. And if you don't make it to the end of the race, that's the person you point your fingers at. But I'm sure he's not trying to grief anyone in what is supposed to be a light-hearted off-season event. And now the timer will begin. 1 minute to go until the race officially begins.
The grid. Did I get disconnected?
Did you get disconnected?
Never mind. I'm in.
Cool. Okay. I see my orange car in the pits, so we should be fine.
We're going hard or softs?
Don't know the question you should be asking me, mate. But
there's literally just one tire compound.
okay.
Come on, man. You picked them on. Oh, hold on, wait. Mandelbaum's leaking our strategy. Why would you tell them that we're gonna lock in? We're supposed to be sandbagging.
Okay, make sure to follow AC lights. So we are going to be going. Is Jorge Caro on pole position? I hope people have muted me up by now, because... And it's lights out, and away we go for the amazing race. Okay, Burak Goodman. But let's go on board with the people at the front of the pack, heading into the first corner here. What's it going to be? It's an immediate hit on the rear for Jorge Caro, and he has just been absolutely right. Okay, you know what, lads? You know what? We're gonna restart.
Yellow,
that.
please.
We're gonna restart. We're gonna restart that round. Okay.
Thank you. Yo, I was going around the outside. Goated strat. I made up like 7 positions, and then I got hit.
Usually in a race weekend, we just let you guys go and we'll call a full course yellow, but that was abysmal. So, please keep it clean, lads. Try behave yourselves, lads. This is not. Right. Keep it clean, lads. Come on. The onboard cameras was not the play on my side, to be honest. So we are penalty. Pull this up. I'm gonna have it ready. I'm apologizing for this on my screen, lads. But I have no choice.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Let's zoom out a wee bit. We can get a nice camera angle like this. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna move it down. Let's go. We got the 6 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. It looks like that Practicality might have just jumped the start here, but it's a good start for the Pig Tech of Jorge Caro. Down we go into the first corner after the red flag restart. Is it going to be any pandemonium? There's a bit of contact. Oh! And there's a massive spin. What the heck has happened there? And there will have to be a virtual full course yellow deployed. And once again, just absolute chaos. And Evan Party is just overtaken under full course yellow. What is going on? We can now switch to TV cameras, I think. Full course yellows has been deployed. The 2 Practicalities over to Jorge Caro as soon as we get called, but I think they might have just taken it before it fully came out. Let's hope these lot follow the Delta. And I think everyone is good to go again. So I'm going to be calling it off now. There will be a 10 seconds that you have to wait. So keep your deltas correct, everyone. Okay, I think everyone's listening. Perfect. Let's end it. You got 10 seconds to wait. Maintain the delta. Maintain the delta, chat. I know you guys can do it. As soon as that hits the green, you're good to go again. And off they go. Amira Goodman gets 10 seconds for full course yellow speed, but I think in a race of 30 minutes, it's not going to matter in the long run. Down they go into the corner. Evan Party leads ahead of Ryan Hawk. Gavin Toothman gets a 10-second penalty for full course yellow delta. But he is up into 8th, so I don't think it matters too much in the sliders for him. As off goes Joshi Mandelbaum. We've got a side-by-side action from Walter Dunk and Petar Prentić, who also now apparently has a 10-second penalty. So I think a lot of people might have 10-second penalties here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But Petar Prentić side-by-side with the Pig Tech of Walter Dunk. What is going to happen into the bus stop? This could be quite dangerous, as we see a lot of these cars sort of going side by side into the bus stop chicane. Now these curbs are known to be quite notorious. As Ryan Hawk is DSQ'd. I don't know what's happened there. Ryan, I can't bring you up during the thing, but if you can just message me, I'll have my Discord open. Just let me know what happens. Your AC crashed. That is unfortunate, man. I'm sorry. But I think Ryan was definitely on course for a very strong finish there. I think maybe if it allows you, could I restart? I think it's a bit late, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, try see if you can rejoin. I've turned off the kick thing, but and I can maybe try like hot wire you a few laps, get you back up to speed. But I think restarting it any further might piss people off. I'm sorry, Ryan. If anything, just be glad it's not the real thing, bro. Okay, Ryan's back in. Can he get going again? We'll try to find out. Anyway, let's go back on board with Petar Prentić, who makes an amazing dive bomb down in for P3. Back up. He might have a 10-second penalty, but he's not letting him stop. He's not letting that stop him by any means. Walter Dunk, however, right on his tail. The man who's been gunning for a seat at Canberra Powerhouse for the main season hasn't had much time to really show his mileage, but he's showing it now. Is he going to try and take the move heading into the next corner here? He's going to try swing one around the outside, but what is it going to be? He's going to have to wait for the time being. Ryan, unfortunately, will be disqualified just because he left the session. It is a real shame, but if anything, that means it brings awareness to the fact that I need to figure out methods to stop people's games from crashing. I mean, I can't really stop that, but what I can do is stop it from banning them from the entire race. But I will work to getting that done. But that is our first retirement, Ryan Hawk. A real shame. That is our first. So the Principality is down to 4 cars, and this could mean PigTech could have a say in the fight here. As through goes Devdo. Where did he come from? I'm not entirely sure. Devdo currently trying to fight for P5 against Jacob Formy side by side into the bus stop. It looks like he's backed out of the corner though, allowing for Jacob Formy to make the corner. But oh, it's a bit of a tag slapper. He keeps it going though, slams the brakes, and that is some beautiful car control. But it means that his teammate Joshi Mandelbaum will probably now overtake him for the 6th. But keeping the car on the road right now is what matters the most, because this is an endurance, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like Cohen Grant's gone off there right at the back. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but he's still in it. So that's what matters. Anyway, keeping on board, looks like this is the closest battle at the moment. Let's get the intervals up here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Now we go into the first corner. Pedro once again fighting with Walter Dunk here. He really doesn't want to give this position up. Down we go into the first corner, and what a move by Walter Dunk. It was a move to defend his position, but it was still a move he had to make. Still a break. So he had to come in as off goes. I think that is Dev. No, that's Joshi Mandelbaum. We'll just mask that as team orders. That's not worry about. And it looks to be a bit of a battle going on behind Murat Goodman, trying to see if he can hold up Gavin Toothman and Elliot Vega. This is a close battle. What's going on here? As Elliot Vega bumps Murat Goodman, and Murat is taking a very interesting interpretation of track limits, but I don't think he's aware of the track mod slowing you down if you try to cut the corner, and as a result he is now right behind, and Principality is crumbling, ladies and gentlemen. They might have a car leading the race, but this is a team faction sport. Now I haven't really came up with a point scheme, but it will probably follow a similar point scheme to AFO, so it's definitely looking, I mean, it's not guaranteed. I think that's easy to say, but Evan Pardy currently out ahead of Jorge Caro. 6 minutes have passed in this race, and it is already getting very feisty. Let's have a wee look at the chats. I've been told to lower the game volume. I didn't even look at that. I'm really sorry. Let's lower the game volume a wee bit. Okay. Game volume lowered, and mic volume increased. So hopefully that is a bit better. Apologize for not checking that sooner. Let's go back on board with Walter Dunk. Seems to be the closest battle. We also have this battle between Martin Vantland and Gavin Toothman. I mean, let's go on board with these two actually, because I know what Walter Dunk's going to do. He's going to try and make a move. It looks like nothing's happening here. And now it's Walter Dunk trying to see if he can try and close the gap to Petar, but he's just a wee bit out of range. So looks like they're going to behave for the time being. But now that the pack started to split up a wee bit, but looks like this is the closest battle meanwhile. So Martin Vantland on Elliot Vega, the new AFO rookie driver in forward, trying to see if he can make a move on the team boss of Vega Sport, who is trying to bump draft Gavin Toothman here. So bump drafting, I mean, I tried to make it clear that it's not really favored, but it looks like Elliot Vega is going to try to do something about it anyway. Gavin Toothman quickly shooting off to the inside. Is that down the inside? No, it's not. Martin has to hang back and make sure that he's keeping an eye on Elliot Vega, who goes off the track again, but Murat Goodman luring in the background, trying to see if he can make an impact on this race. And Petar Prentić again has conceded the position to Walter Dunk. These two are having an absolute blast out ahead for the podium places. It's PigTech versus Principality, and it looks like Petar is going to favor the outside line and try and see if he can swing his car in a wee bit. This is going to be a very crucial area of the track. Getting a good exit out of this corner means a good run down to the bus stop chicane, and he takes a very wide approach. I'm not sure if that is the meta, ladies and gentlemen, but we're about to find out in about 10 seconds time. Let's go back on board with Devdo, who now seems to have recouped up his losses and is now trying to see if he can catch up to Jacob Formy out in front ahead. Scotsman said he's not touched Assetto Corsa in over a year, but at the moment is currently running in a very good position, and I'm sure the grid would love to see him back in any league should he decide to make a return. But anyway, going back on board with maybe another closer battle. Petar Prentić currently out ahead, and obviously keep an eye on Martin Vantland again on Elliot Vega. I will say, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, this is the This is a car and track combination which is producing a lot of lovely, clean racing, and I think the lads are enjoying it. So maybe a Ginettas subdivision for AFO in the future. We'll have to wait and see. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves at the moment. As around the outside tries to go Petar Brentić, but I think he doesn't have the overspeed. He's going to try to tuck back in under the Pigtex car and try to see if he can get some slip. Let's go on board with let's try to get a nice onboard camera. As you can see, just behind the leaderboard is the Pigtech car, and if we go on board with the man from Montenegro, he's going to have to try and see if he can sample a move here. He's been right on the back of Walter Dunk for a majority of this race, and it looks like Joshi Mandelbaum has lost some momentum, has now dropped all the way in 11th, which goes to show that mistakes creeping in at this point in the race will mean positions for everyone else. But also, while we've got this battle, do keep an eye on the delta between Evan Hardy and Jorge Caro. They seem to be fighting for the lead, and they probably are. You can't shut Jorge Caro out, as down the inside goes Petar Brentić. He's unable to make the move stick just for the time being though, but he is a lot closer than he was the previous lap. And now, he might try to see if he has something to say. Heading to the run into the bus stop chicane once more. Murat Goodman closing up on Gavin Toothman, and Jorge Caro ever closer to Evan Pardy. So we'll keep an eye on this battle. Just up the road ahead, the same exact battle is happening between both the factions. Jorge Caro is going to try and make a move for the lead of the race, heading into the bus stop chicane. Who's it going to be? Jorge chooses the outside. Is Evan going to react accordingly? Yes, he does. He holds the line, but that's a lot of curb. Is that going to unsettle the Ginetta? It does. But the technical skill of the American means he's able to keep the car on the track, but he does lose a lot of speed as a result. And now side by side, heading into the triangle section of the oval. I don't know, it's probably got a term, but I don't really know what it is. But side by side to the start finish, Jorge Caro is choosing the outside. I think he wants to keep his foot on the throttle, but also slightly tucked behind the Prenticality of Evan Pardy. Here they go once more. It's going to be neck and neck, and just behind you can see the exact same battle happening between Walter Dunk and Petar Brentić. Who's it going to be taking the lead? Jorge Caro tries to hook one around the outside, but he has to settle for second for the time being. And oh my goodness me, my Wi-Fi is bugging. Wi-Fi is bugging, fam. Thankfully, I think it is just my side. Yeah, I think I'm 191 ping. So, yeah, apologies there. Who's survived in the Petar versus Walter fight? It looks like Walter is still continuing to dunk on Petar for the time being. But we're not even halfway through this race yet. It just seems to be absolutely endless, the action. Let's watch Martin Van Land versus Elliot Vega. Elliot goes again a bit too wide, but he's able to keep his car on the track. Goodness me, Elliot. That is some ballsy operation you've got going there, son. Let's go on board with Martin Van Land. Now, in Jaap's own words, Martin, a very experienced driver, has driven alongside the Dutchman in many leagues. However, he mentioned he's here for fun, and he will leave the sweating and the outright pace to Jaap. So I think he's keeping true to his words right now. He may not be lighting it up in 8th place, but my goodness, he is giving us a fight to watch, and Elliot Vega is definitely having to actually consider how he places his car. This isn't just some simple stroll for him. And Elliot Vega going for a slightly more defensive line. Will that compromise his exit though? Time will tell. He goes very, very wide. And now Martin Van Land right on the back. Petar Brentić meanwhile makes the move for P3. We unfortunately missed out on the stream. We don't want to miss this one, as Martin takes the inside line and takes the move. But Elliot gets a slight better run and is now trying to see if he can out-drag him. Or on the outside, a bit of rubbing action. Elliot has to take to the outer area of the oval. And he takes back the position, at least on screen. What's it going to be? Down they come to the bus stop again. One of them will have to back out, and it looks like Martin backs out for the time being. A lot of curb from Elliot. Will that offset the car? I'm not too sure. Martin gets very, very close to the tires there, which are absolutely brutal if you've not seen. They can absolutely destroy your car if you run into them. but they survive for the time being. Walter Dunk and Petar Prentić, meanwhile, again, these two just cannot stop battling each other. As Walter Dunk shoots down the inside, he tries to see if he can maybe hook one down the middle, but he's going to have to keep behind Petar for the time being, who has once again reclaimed P3 and is keeping out ahead. Now, if this full course yellow did say he had a 10-second time penalty for maintaining the delta, which means that Jacob Formey would currently be taking P4 off of Petar. However, we still have 15 minutes to go, so, you know, there could be another full course yellow, and there could be a penalty that Walter picks up, or there might have been a penalty that Walter picks up. I don't know. We have to check. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, a lot of battling going on. There's Devdo, meanwhile, trying to see if he can make a move on Jacob Formey. Devdo once again trying to prove just who he used to be back in the day. AFO's first ever driver sign-up back when it used to be called C Camber Club Cars, and before that F2K. He drove in the first and only Ginetta race that league took place in. I think back in the Pink Pig it was called, or one of the teams at least. So he definitely knows a thing or two about these GT5s, and look at the exit speed from Devdo. They're simply lovely as he bruises back up to 5th place. Very, very strong, as it looks like Joshi Mandelbaum in the pits and Murat Goodman even further behind, so not too sure what's going on there. But here comes Walter Dunk, meanwhile, side by side once again. Who's it going to go into oh, a bit of curb from Petar Prentić there. The Serb / Montenegro man, the man from Montenegro, the Montenegroian, I don't know, but you get the idea. Side by side, down towards the start-finish line again, and it just looks like these two will not let each other go. Same thing with Jorge Caro and Evan Pardy. We got to keep an eye on all these battles here. We can try to pull up a screen here. This is a nice screen. So meanwhile, Jorge Caro once again drafting Evan, trying to see if he can take round the outside. Can he hook the move? No, but can he send one down the inside? Maybe. Is there contact? There is contact, but Evan keeps it on the grass, and he keeps it going. Wow, and it looks like Jorge maybe lifted off the throttle a wee bit because he didn't want to spin out his former teammate and keep the fight for first going. But that just goes to show the more battling that goes on over here, the more these lads will start tripping up. Now the tires are possibly starting to wear out just a wee bit now. But it is worth mentioning, we are halfway through the race, so will we start seeing some more risks being taken, as it looks like Walter Dunk once again, and oh, let's go on board with Gavin Toothman and Cohen Grant, both the Pig Techs having an absolute scrap at the back of the field. Are they going to touch? Nearly. They just about keep it clean, and Gavin Toothman down the inside. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Let's go back on board with Jorge Caro, who's now going to try and see if he can reel in his former Blue Ridge Racing teammates for a lovely slice of that first place. He's been doing this every single lap since they started. But the question begs, can this be the one lap where he actually does it? Time will tell. He has to choose. He commits to the outside. What's it going to be? Is he going to get the slipstream? Evan squeezes him against the wall. And oh, a lovely... oh, goodness me, I'm trying to watch both battles at the same time. Looks like Jorge and Evan Pardy's gotten a 5-second penalty for cutting the track. And that is going to be crucial in the battle for the lead. I did wonder, that did look a bit suspicious, that cut, and unfortunately it's cost Evan dearly. And that does mean he's going to have 5 seconds to his time at the end of the race, which means he's going to have to he's going to have to put a shift on Jorge now. But oh my goodness, exactly that is what's happening over in the distance. You can see squeezing from Evan, trying to see if he can keep Jorge back at all costs. And my goodness, you've got to give it to him. There's some insane defense, and you can see the same battle literally happening right behind them in the form of Walter Dunk and Petar Prentić. And Jorge goes off, nearly loses the car. The pressure is cooking, the heat is building, and Petar Prentić and Walter Dunk are catching. A gap of merely 7 seconds has now cut down to 2 seconds. And here comes Jorge Caro around the outside. Can he make the move on the Principality? Not yet. But closing up are Walter Dunk and Petar Prentić. Walter Dunk, who was originally fighting for P3, might now be able to fight for the race when he can see it. The flavors are tantalizing his tongue. P1 is right in front of him, but he's going to have to play it clean. There's still 11 minutes in this race duration left to go. And wow, it just goes to show this insane battling happening right at the front is starting to reel in closer and closer. Oh, they're once again going side by side. No, Jorge Caro is going to dip behind. Is he going to try and get a better exit? He opts for a slightly more sharper line. And as you can see, the battle for first went from 2 cars to 4. Petar Prentić, Walter Dunk, Jorge Caro and Evan Party now all on the same stretch of road. This is cinema, ladies and gentlemen. It is looking insane. We've got 2 pigskins against 2 pigskins. We've got 2 pig techs against 2 Prenticalities. With Ryan Hawk out of this race, Petar Prentić is going to have to make sure he tries to capitalize here. And here we go. We've got 4 cars coming down into the bus stop chicane. Are they going to keep it clean? They have done so far. Slight cut of the corner there. Jorge Caro keeping it on the line. Walter Dunk is closing, and Evan's crashed into the wall. Evan has crashed into the wall. He was pushing so hard, and unfortunately, he has pushed one bit too hard down into 4th. And I'm sure he didn't mean to do that on purpose. I think he's just absolutely gutted that he's lost the race win like that, and now he's doing the same thing that the NASCAR guy did. He's now gone off into the carpet, and that means Prenticality is slowly starting to crumble. I do feel for Evan there. That was totally just a sign of absolutely pushing the car to the limit, and unfortunately, it was just pushing a bit too hard as Walter Dunk now takes the lead of the race. I don't know if I clearly missed that. What's happened there? Walter Dunk currently in the lead. Jorge Caro, meanwhile, going to try to see if he can take the inside on his teammate here. The faction battle is slowly starting to boil down here. Is now just a fight for the downright win. And goodness me, what is going to be happening? Evan Party into the pit lane, 10 seconds for speeding. I think he's just retiring the car at this rate. And honestly, I don't blame him, because having driven for the win for so long, you're telling me you want to now start fighting for points at the bottom? Like, no, I totally get it. But fair play to Party for trying his absolute best there. Unless he's going to try to do something else. I hope not. Jorge Caro now trying to see if he can gain on Walter Dunk here. Petar Prentić is in the running for a podium here. Unless he's able to prove that that penalty was given to him was an absurd penalty of any means. Petar Prentić has to watch on now as a sole Prenticality car. He originally had Evan Party up there with him, ready to fight and fighting for the win. He was Evan Party, but unfortunately it all came crumbling down. It all came crumbling down on lap 8 of this race. We've probably only got about a few more laps to go, 8 minutes left. We'll get Evan's thoughts, although I doubt he's got anything amazing to say, but I'm sure he enjoyed the battle with Jorge. There was a lot of lovely racing, and I think maybe a testament that Ginettas could be good for this league in a subdivision of sorts. We'll keep you posted. Jorge Caro, meanwhile, seems to have lost Walter Dunk now, and Petar Prentić is now trying to see if he can make a move on Jorge Caro here. We're beginning to see the Petar Prentić of old. Around the outside goes Petar Prentić. Unbelievable. And it looks like Jorge has just sort of gone off the apron there. And it looks like he's also going into the pits. So what has happened there? Is he also retiring from this race? We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment in time, it does look like that's the case. I think Jorge, who was so is interested the word? I think Jorge, who was very keen on battling Evan, now without his battling friend, he doesn't see any more hope in life, and as a result, he has retired from this race. So I think that's what's happened. At least he becomes the 3rd retiree of this race, which brings us to 10 cars left. That pushes Elliot Vega up into 5th. Jacob Formey up into 4th, and Devdo is now within the realms of a potential podium. P2, in fact, if he is able to capitalize off of the penalty. I've obviously lost track of the penalty situation, but that is honestly, Prenticality was sort of hailed as the team to do it all, and it's just not worked out for them, unfortunately. But yeah, insane scenes. Oh, and I will let Evan. I will let you up. In fact, you know what? The gaps are built, so we will let you up, Evan. Sorry. We're gonna have a mid-race interview from Evan Party, the man who was in the lead of the race.
Man.
Unfortunately,
it was great racing, but I had suspension damage like through half of it. Like you were seeing, like whenever I cut the chicane, I had full suspension lock. Like my wheel is 90 degrees left, and I was struggling to keep it through like any corner whatsoever, let alone the chicane. So the 5-second penalty was the least of my concern, but there just wasn't enough turn in it, and I hit that little tire barrier, which in real life would move out of the way for me, but in here is a brick wall.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but honestly, that was insane racing. We watched all of it, and I was
loving it.
I was genuinely beautiful. I think
it was great. It was great, and then it was down into turn 1. I think you guys caught it on the stream when we had like the slightest tap with each other. For some reason, that just gave my car like huge suspension damage. Like it just cranked my wheel. I think Jorge got the same thing after a bit, but as soon as I got my first suspension damage, it was basically more of me just trying to keep Jorge back and let Peter catch up. But the gap has widened between Walter Dunk and Prentice, so it didn't really work out my strategy.
Well, it was a very selfless strategy. I mean, I was about to ask, like, was that intentional, trying to bunch up the pack? Because it got very, very interesting as soon as we saw 4 cars all going along the banking towards the bus stop. But I think
I like to say it was intentional, but I feel like even if I wasn't trying to hold them up, that was the pace I was at. There was nothing more I could do because the damage was absurd. It was like the damage multiplier was at 500 times or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why that was the case because it's been on the normal one since. But obviously, we'll look into that. Should we decide to run something like this in the near future. But thank you very much, Evan. That was amazing racing. I'm sorry it had to end this way, and you're currently sat talking to me instead. But I think you'll agree it was very interesting to see some actual rubbing and drafting, which is stuff you don't usually get to see in open wheelers. So yeah.
True. Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you for having me. You know, obviously I pulled out and whatnot, but you know, is what it is. I come back here occasionally for races like these, but that's about it for now. So thank you once again, and see you later.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you later, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Party. It looks like Jorge Caro is actually back on the grid. So did he go in to get his suspension fixed? Is that what Evan was talking about? And now currently in P7, Jorge Caro, which means that in 3 minutes time, if Walter keeps it on the track and he keeps it clean and he doesn't cut any corners, he could be winning the race for Pig Tech, unless Petar Prentice has anything to say about it. I know Petar currently carries a penalty and he also is kind of starting to lose time, but yeah, it is it's looking good. And you know what, gotta give credits to Dev Doe, who started pretty much plumb last and is now currently on track for a P2 because he is only 3 seconds behind Petar Prentice, who I think could be nursing some problem of sorts. As you can see, there is Petar Prentice, and then just coming around the corner afterwards is Dev Doe. So he is 8 seconds behind, but if Petar can build 1.5 seconds, he gets to keep his P2. However, if Devdo stays within this range, he will get the P3. So keep an eye, ladies and gentlemen. Keep an eye. It's looking interesting. And I, for one, I'm loving it. In fact, I'm starting to wonder why we didn't do these cars in general. Why are we doing Formula cars? We should have just stuck with Ginettas, man. These were my love. I'm gonna start crying in a bit, but I'm joking. 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there. I would love to know what kind of ladies would be watching this. I have a lot of questions for you lads. But you know, I assume the demographic is a little low as a plane is about to take off in the background. Petar Prentice, oh, very close to the tire wall there. Petar Prentice very close, nearly ending his race right there and then, similar to Evan. And of course, if a slight tap was going to kill your car, I'm assuming a massive crash with the tire wall would also end the race as well. Jorge Caro, meanwhile, catching up to Martin Van Land. So this could be a Principality that he could clear and get PigTech a few more points. We have a quick look in the standings. I mean, standings is set rather lightly. It's more just in the sense of we have obviously 1, 2, 3, 4 PigTech cars, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 3 Principality cars in this. So it is now advantage PigTech if they can catch up to the field, and Project Ordonez also in the points as well. So it is looking very close between the factions here, and obviously penalties will be applied. Something that was very favorite, like if you had to go on Polymarket and put a bet down, they would tell you that it was Principality to take the win. But at the moment, as Jorge Caro clears Martin Van Land and now has Elliot Vega in his sights for P5, it is one more lap now for Jorge Caro to try and make sure his PigTech gets the advantage when the points start getting counted at the end of this race. But as things stand, it is Walter Dunk who is currently going round. He has just finished the road section and is now on his way to a race win. Petar Prentic has thrown a lot out of his ammunition through to Walter Dunk, but Walter has defended every shot with precision. And now Petar Prentic is gaining time on a 10-second penalty. He carries. He just needs to gain a little bit more to ensure P2 is his. But that is very close. And oh goodness me, who is that? It is P11, Murat Goodman. Is Murat Goodman going to get in the way? I hope not. As Walter Dunk gets through the final bus stop chicane that he will see in this off-season event. He came into the league looking for a seat, but nobody decided to answer his door apart from Camber. But even Camber doubted what his skills and intellect was. He had to wait until an opportunity came to him for him to display his skills. And although we've lost Ryan Hawk, we have lost Evan Pardy. To finish first you have to finish. And finish first he has. Walter Dunk comes across to win the AFO's first ever off-season event, the Daytona 30. He's weaving left and right. PigTech take the win. Walter Dunk. P1. Petar Prentic takes P2 for the time being. As here comes Devdo. Time will tell if Devdo has the time on Petar. The gap is closing. Is it going to be P2? No, it's not. Petar takes P3. Devdo closes up into P2. What a drive from Devdo to take P2. A shame for Petar to pick up that penalty right at the start. Jacob Formey takes P4. Jorge Caro takes Elliot Vega right on the final lap. We missed that, but I'm sure it was an absolute tussle as Jorge Caro takes P5. Elliot Vega P6. Martin Van Land will come across the line to finish P7. Cohen Grant, meanwhile, quite far, just coming around the banking section. People who are currently in the driver's briefing, I will do some interviews very soon. So just keep an eye. I will bring you guys up. Elliot Vega takes a 10-second penalty the final time, so Martin Van Land will probably take the P6 as well. Cohen Grant coming round. Where is he going to place his car? It will be most likely P8, I'm sure. P9 for Gavin Toothman, P10 for Joshua Mandelbaum, P11 from Murat Goodman. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. What a race. Gavin Toothman going to come around. Joshua Mandelbaum. And yeah, that is looking like the end of this session. They do still need to round it up though. Gavin Toothman, 10-second penalty to his final time. Joshua Mandelbaum might be able to use that to his advantage to jump one more position. Wow, this was fun. Honestly, this was fun. I didn't give it that much. I mean, I did think it would be quite fun. We do obviously have to do the points tallying up. That will probably be done off stream in the Discord if you'd like to know who won. But yeah, I genuinely don't know. There's such a unique field spread, and obviously the points. I think I will just take the AFO points. But wow, that was good. That was good. Good racing. And I genuinely think that was better racing than most of what we saw in Season 3, because just a lot of wheel-to-wheel contact you can do, a bit of bump drafting, a bit of rubbering. But yeah, well, people like to stick their hands up. I'm pretty sure you should be able to in the Discord, and I will just start interviewing based off of who sticks their hands up first. Elliot sticks their hands up first. We'll bring up Elliot, and then Petar, and then Walter. Elliot, come say hi, mate.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing great. Martin Van Land. I think that's his name, right? Martin.
That is.
Yo, that was amazing, man. Oh, I love this guy. I love this guy. You know, in the second half of the race, I kind of checked out. You know, I found my groove. I was just kind of running away. But that battle, you guys only caught 1% of it, and Murat is in my DMs. Okay. Anyways. Something about bumper cars. It ain't racing if you ain't rubbing. Come on. Yeah, no, this race was really, really fun. You know, I didn't go in expecting much, just having fun, and some really good wheel-to-wheel battles. Really nice rubbing out there, really clean. Very sad. Like, it showed on, when I finished, that I was P4, but that was after Walter disconnected, so I think, like, after penalties, I was P5, but Jorge overtaking me on the last lap. I was like, okay, I'm running a little low on fuel, let me fuel save, and then I see a pink car in my mirror, and I was like, I literally, like, audible, you could hear the wet shark coming out of my pants, bro. It was, I was so scared. And then I tried so hard to keep it up, and I was like in that mindset. I was like, wait a minute, dang it, I should have gone back sooner. So I went back, I got the slipstream from him, I tried to go for a move, and he was like stonewall, bro. I thought he was gonna like maybe get a little scared like some other drivers would. No, he just sent it, and then I got scared, so I just backed out, let him have that. I was flashing him down the whole straight, really angry about that one. I could have had that on track position, but I think I got it after the penalties. But that was some really good racing. I'm definitely gonna put together a highlights reel because Martin Van Land, bro. I'm so excited to see you in AFL. That was really nice.
Simply fantastic. I think genuinely that being in the Ginettas, being able to have some contact and being able to actually wheel to wheel race.
Beautiful. I honestly think that was like, I've never been that motivated during a race since like that overtake I did on the last lap at Austria. Like, I think I had a really clean race, really nice race. Murat's telling me to kill myself in DMs. Yeah.
That's
I think that tells you it was a pretty good
That does tell
race.
you everything. Well, thank you so much, Elliot. I'm so glad to hear you enjoyed it. Obviously, I have to go through everyone else before we can tell. But so far, first review, good. So thank you, Elliot. Thank you very much. We'll now bring up Petar, because he is the next person. So we'll bring Petar up next. Petar, how are you doing, mate?
Hello.
Talk to us about that race. I know you might not be too happy with the outcome, but how did it go?
Oh, I mean, I'm really happy, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know, like, oh my God, I'm still fucking shocked because I was racing against Walter the entire fucking race. We were scrapping all over the place, bro. I am lost for fucking words. This was probably the best race I've ever attended in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Holy shit, this was hectic. Like, just amazing, man. Like, I cannot believe how good this race was. I'm so glad I attended it. I was speculating if I should attend it or not, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna attend this race even though it's not that important. And yeah, it was the best racing experience I've had for since I joined AFO.
Wow, that is powerful, to be honest. And genuinely, I was about to say, like, every single time I would check the intervals on that, every single time I checked the intervals on that screen, it was always like you and Walter separated by like literally 0.2, and I was like, what are these two doing? And I'd have to come and check.
Yeah,
and it was just constantly fighting. It was insane to watch.
Yeah, it was like huge respect to Walter, man. Like, that was some amazing racing, all surrounding the role book and everything. It was just quite an enjoyable experience to just race, and it was like really, really rough racing, like amazing. And then the situation, we were like racing for like, I don't know, was it like for 20 minutes, I'd say. Like, we were racing since start to finish almost. And then that situation between Jorge and Evan, and they both scrapped together and like made us catch up to them. And just witnessing that we've had like a 4 cars in a fight for the win, and it was literally adrenaline inducing, man. Like, Jesus. I did like see like a 10-second icon for some reason. I don't know for what. Is it that like that a penalty or something? I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was amazing race.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
genuinely amazing.
it'll probably be something that the real penalty flagged up, but I wouldn't take too much worry about it.
Yeah.
I do think you'll still be on podium, so it should be fine.
Yeah. I
But-
think I have secured like P2 because I saw it was like above 10 seconds. So yeah, altogether, I'd say this was quite an amazing experience, and I cannot wait for another one of these.
Absolutely. Well, I'm definitely probably going to run this again in the off season after season 4, or I might at this point we might as well just change the season to Ginettas.
It could be the best outcome.
But yeah, no, obviously, I'm super glad to hear it. Obviously, one last question before we part ways with you. You are fighting for P3 for quite a lot of duration at the time. What were the thoughts in your head when you started to see the lead pack slowly catch? You started to catch the lead pack as a result of Evan starting to hold up Jorge in a bid to try and involve you in the fight for P1.
Well, yeah, I mean Ryan, because he DNF'd because his Assetto Corsa crashed. He was just telling me, "Oh my God, they crashed! Oh my God, they did this! Oh my God, they did this!" And I was like, "Holy shit, we might fight for a win." Just seeing them aching closer and closer to us was like, "Oh my God, we might actually win a race today." You know, there is a chance. There's always a chance when those two guys are scrapping and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just more exciting to see that there was a chance for a win, you know, and like, yeah, it was just amazing. Like, I have no other words to describe it. It was such a good race, and having that chance to battle it out for a win again, fighting for a win, feeling that pressure and everything, it was just amazing. But huge congrats to Walter, and huge respect to him. And yeah, I cannot wait to maybe fight it out with him again some other time.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Petter, for your time.
No problem.
Glad to hear you enjoyed it, and we will catch you very, very soon, mate. Thank you.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Petar Prentic. Obviously, now we'll try to work through these. Everyone wants to have a say, which I'm sure they do. Next up is Walter, so we'll give him the stage. Walter,
Hello.
how you doing, mate?
It was great. It was an absolute beautiful race. That's one of the funnest races I've had in a pretty long time. Been trying to get out in AFO reserve, but work, school, everything gone away. So fun race, especially fighting Pitar. Absolutely great battle we had. Just overall fun race. Didn't expect to win that one, but it swung my way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, genuinely, as I was telling Petar, sort of just echoing my thoughts, just every single time we checked you and Petar, always battling for about 20 minutes of the race. So yeah, really, really, really lovely stuff. Really happy to see you guys kept it clean. And yeah, I mean, sort of same question. What were your thoughts when you had to keep fighting for that position, and then you started seeing that the two out in front were slowly starting to lose time, and you were actually closing the gap to them? What were the thoughts?
A bit of shock at first. I wanted to work with them a little bit to catch up to them, but we were fighting. I was just having fun, so just started fighting them, and slowly we started catching them when they went off, and they had all the damage from racing. So didn't really expect to get thrust into winning in that one. I thought I was just gonna get third, but catching them and then realizing that both of them had damage and that I was able to just drive away and win that one was honestly a bit of a shock, but I'll take the opportunity that was given to me.
Absolutely, mate. But yeah, I mean, you like you said, you were obviously very sort of unfortunate to not really get much opportunities towards the end of season 3, especially because due to availability and all. But now that you've probably raised your stock, is there a chance we'll probably see you on the grid in season 4? I say that knowing the answer probably, but you know, it's worth asking.
Yeah, hell yeah. No school. The only thing I've got is karting and probably some national events here and there. But except for that, I will 100% be doing season 4. Oddly enough, that race felt like a bit of a national itself with all the chaos and wheel to wheel all the time. So good thing to keep me in form a little bit before I get out and this proper season starts this summer.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time, man. Enjoy the win. Welcome to the trophy room in the Discord. Might have been a bit quick for you, I think, but I'm sure you don't mind
Yep.
that. And
Have a
yeah,
good night, lad.
take time. See you later.
See ya.
That was watered down, ladies and gentlemen. We'll now bring up Jorge. Then we got Devdo, and then we got I think we got Toothman after that. So, Jorge, how
Hello,
you doing,
Manu.
mate? How are you doing?
I'm pretty happy today. Yeah, it
That's-
was such a fun race.
It's lovely to hear. Obviously, first question: what was the necessary for the pit stop? Was it damage, as we suspected?
Yeah, it's crazy to think like I got bumper damage and I lost like 10 kph in the straight. I tried, let's say, like, okay, let's defend Peter and let's give a head start to Walter. And I saw Peter passing me by like nothing, and I said, okay, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to pit and let's see if I can race some other people. And I did. I took 2 positions. It was fun. I like it.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, I think the same thing kind of goes between while we had Walter and Petar literally scrapping out behind you, like 10 seconds down the road, you were absolutely scrapping with Evan for the win right at the start there. I mean, just talk us through that battle. It must have been a very big contrast from majority of last season to go from, you know, walking on thin ice every time you tried to battle to then suddenly having to like getting to go wheel to wheel almost every single corner of every lap.
Yeah, it was so intense. Like first of all, I want to try to speak about this for the season, for the official season. In my opinion, when there is a full course yellow and the delta comes out, there shouldn't be possibility to overtake cars, but we will discuss that in other moment. Just wanted to say that. Apart from that, it was so fun to battle Evan. He was so fast and he defended so well. I was trying everything, of course, because I wasn't taking it super seriously. And I tried some moves like, let's say, let's give a show. We had a bit of contact. I, of course, gave him space. And sadly, he got damaged. He crashed. I got again damage in the bumper, so it was a bit sad in this part, but it was super fun. And congrats to Walter also. I hope he has for this season, and he tries Afro too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Walter, now that he's put his name out there, I'm sure leagues will be snapping, teams will be talking. It'll be interesting to see where his name pops up here or elsewhere. So yeah, but thank you so much,
Such a fast
Jorge.
driver.
Thank you, Jorge, for your time. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. And yeah, I mean,
Thank you,
the
man.
full course yellow rule, like you said, I think it's just a case of because it wasn't stated, people abused it. So rest assured, it will definitely be stated next time, so people can't do it. But yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you very much to Jorge for your time. We'll see you later. Jorge Caro, ladies and gentlemen. Now we've got the Scotsman, the McTominay merchant, Devdo, to come up on the stage. With an amazing recovery drive to either P3 or P2, depending on post-race penalties. Let's hear from the man himself. Devdo, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely lovely, mate. Fantastic drive. Would you like to talk us through that one?
Yeah, I mean, I got a little bit lucky. I mean, obviously, Jorge had to go into the pits, and then there was, I don't know if whoever disconnected was in front of me or behind me, but those two things were a little bit of luck. But I had good pace. I mean, it was coming to me at the end, like the very end, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think third place is pretty good for where I started.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you said you've been out of Assetto Corsa for quite a time, so it's definitely
Yeah.
good to see. Definitely good to see your name back. It was kind of deja vu, to be honest, for me. So it was lovely to see, mate. Will we see you in any other races in or outside of AFO?
I mean, uni's finished now, so I've got hundreds of time on my hands.
Simply
I don't
lovely,
know.
then, mate. Simply lovely.
Yeah, I think. Well, I haven't actually looked what leagues are running here, but I probably will join one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, you've obviously got AFO, WTCS, Afro, probably the big ones. So
have a look around,
Yep.
take your fancy, and I'm definitely sure that a man called Elliot Vega will probably be in your DMs very soon about joining his Genghis Khan level academy. So
Genghis Khan.
definitely keep a lookout for that guy. Block him as soon as you get the chance. But yeah, that's
Okay.
just my advice. But good stuff, Dev. Though I'll catch you later.
I've actually already
Alright,
sent DMs to him before.
Oh, fuck off.
Cheers,
man.
mate.
All right, I'll see you later, bro.
I DM'd him before he came back when I started Vegas. where I
Okay,
just DM'd him
okay.
again.
You get your moment. You had your moment. I interviewed you. Fuck off. All right. Now, last but not least, we'll bring up Toothman. His first ever race in AFO, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, how you doing, mate? You doing well?
Hi.
Talk.
I'm doing
talk-
pretty good.
Lovely stuff, mate. Talk us through that race.
This was honestly, I haven't touched a set of Corsa in a few months, and this is honestly really my first official league race. But because I haven't really touched leagues that much, I've been trying to get into more. I was trying to get adapted to the cars. I felt as if I was pushing the car as much as I could, but I was still 4 seconds off pace of the leaders, and I kept making mistakes around the bus stops, and I was losing so much time on the banking because the cars, the other manufacturers were just way faster than me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think first of all, definitely give yourself some more credit because there's a lot of people who had a lot of crashes that race, this and that. So being off the pace isn't necessarily the biggest issue when you're racing on a track as big as Daytona. And second of all, you finished, so that's pretty big in itself. And you kept it clean, which is something I always beat back home.
Yeah.
I'm like every driver, like I don't care. Pace is not necessarily the biggest thing in the world. You can be a hot lap merchant. But then you
I
can...
did.
Mhm.
I did actually slide into somebody towards the end after they slid up. I slid up the same way they did, and I slid up into them, pushing them a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, like accidents happen, right? And like you said, this is your first race. I remember when I did my first ever league race, and I realized immediately like there's no pause menu. I can't flash back, nothing of that sort, you know. So like, it comes with time, and I think you should give yourself some credit for that one. Thankfully, we're in Ginettas, so a bit of contact here and there won't set people off their course immediately. It's not gonna destroy your car completely, but it was definitely very lovely to watch you race. And yeah, again, I will give you the same warning. Just be wary of a man called Elliot Vega, who might come knocking your
Yeah, I
DMs
don't
very soon.
know. If somebody offers me an actual seat, I will take it, but I think I might want to just start out as a reserve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's plenty. I mean, like, obviously, this just goes out to anyone. This goes out to anyone who's obviously listening to the stream who wants to get involved. But there are a lot of, let's just say, academies run by the team principals who would love to coach you and get you guys up to speed, so that if you feel that you're off the pace, they'll make sure to set you right. So, put yourself out there.
Do you know if I finished 9th or 10th?
I think you might have finished 10th. I think it's because you had a penalty right at the end. I mean, I'll have to double check. I have the standings and stuff. I should to put the penalties.
Yeah, I would have gotten 9th, but I kept losing like 2-3 seconds on the banking.
I mean, you said you were racing for who again? You were racing for PigTech, correct?
Yeah, I got put in a big tick
So
car.
you definitely helped them out with points. I think it'll be tight between Practicality and PigTech, so you can give yourself a pat on the back. If it's decided by a number of points, by like a very small number of points, you can give yourself that credit. And probably a bit. Jorge probably gets a wee bit as well, but you know. But yeah, don't worry about it, mate. Very lovely drive. And hope to see more of you soon, man. Thank you very much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Toothman. I forgot his first name, but it's probably there somewhere in the stream. But that will conclude this off-season event. The off-season event getting more praise than any of the races in season 3 getting more praise. That is pretty funny. But yeah, we'll have a chat. And if you guys would like to see more of this stuff, hell, if you want to see more Ginetta racing, then I'm sure we can work something out. Let's just say there may be some more invitationals in the near future. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for coming. Thank you guys for giving your time. Thank you to the drivers for putting on an amazing show. And we will catch you very soon for hopefully preseason testing in a